What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know this literally does not work. I'm here in the workshop doing what we do. It's Monday night, and I hope you guys join us in 3 hours for our live stream. We'll be getting lively like we always do, because you know that's the way I roll. And you know, we always have a lot to talk about. We got our Cowboys in the end of minicamp, OTAs, and of course we'll see how they're looking and so forth. And I feel really, really good about my Cowboys where they are currently right now. Hold your ears for a second. I want to talk about Michael Gallop for a second. See, I'm very proud of what I do woodworking wise. What I do is one piece at a time. One piece at a time, and I don't use particle board except for countertops, okay? Particle board or MDF and everything else. I use wood, and I pray that this is only a slight hiccup in the lumber prices right now, because if it's not, we start losing all the lumber, I'm out of business. The great California redwood trees, a lot of those burned, and those trees are irreplaceable. So that's not a good thing. What I'm doing is I'm actually trying to come up with something new. This is our football table that we're building. That's the base for it. It's going to have a glass top for it so you can see the football. So, Michael Gallop said today that he would like to be able to stay in Dallas, but like everything, it's not really up to him. It's really a matter of what the Cowboys want to do, which is the truth. Do the Cowboys want to pay him? Do they want to keep him? Do they want to take somebody else? What do the Dallas Cowboys want to do? And here's where I started thinking, because I always like to think outside the box. Article I read was Michael Gallop looks at the Cowboys in a situation where this is his home. He knows Dallas, right? He lives there. He knows all his boys, you know, all the people and everything else. He knows the organization. Of course, it's America's team, you know, the biggest franchise in football. The question is, how much is enough? We always hear about players should take a home team discount because, you know, they should give back because it's the home team. Reality is the football team isn't giving you a home team, you know, bonus because you're part of the Dallas Cowboys. Everything is shaded towards ownership and the teams. Even though you sign a contract that's, you know, like Amari Cooper, you signed a $100 million contract. Well, really only 2 years of it's guaranteed. So it's really not a $100 million contract. It's a 2-year, $40 million deal. And if they really don't like you, they can do like they did with Julio Jones. Hey, we know you got 3 years left in your contract. We don't want to keep you anymore. We're going to trade you to somebody else. At least his contract is honored, but they could have cut him and then he's done with football, hypothetically. Although he's still got to get paid. But, you know, it's kind of funny how they seem to find different ways that they don't have to pay you, you know, even though maybe you decided to take a home team discount. So asking a player to say, let's look out for the team because, you know, they're hurting, they're poor, is not a good thing. But I think back to DeMarco Murray. Now, DeMarco Murray leaving is the reason why we got Dak Prescott. Let me be clear on that. So Dak haters, you'll go through and say the Cowboys should have signed DeMarco Murray because then we wouldn't have gotten that compensatory pick that we used to get draft Dak Prescott. See how the 6 degrees of separation, how everything is related to each other? Had the Cowboys re-signed DeMarco Murray, DeMarco Murray left a system that he knew, his teammates, the Cowboys, that organization, that everything was right there to take more money to go to Philadelphia. I always want to say, hey, let's take more money. It's always great to take more money. But sometimes taking more money can cost you more because he didn't fit into Chip Kelly's offense. That team was ass. He probably hated the Eagles, as a matter of fact. And you look at that, he was only there for 1 year, in which case he then went to Tennessee and was never the same back as it was before. But you have to wonder, had he stayed in Dallas with the offense that he knew, the offensive line that was really good for him, how his career would have worked out. So you have to look at that from the money standpoint. Was the extra money he took to go to Philadelphia as opposed to staying in Dallas worthwhile? I can't answer that. But see, if you're Michael Gallop, if you think that working with Dak Prescott, knowing I've got Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb that are there, that you have a running back in Zeke Elliott, a good offensive line, a very offensive-minded coach, where you're getting the ball all over the place, where you don't have to be the standout. Here's the other part of this. You're part of a puzzle. You're comfortable where you're at. You like where you're living in your surroundings, as opposed to, say, Alvin Harper, who had that kind of a situation when he was there with Dallas. He had a great offense. You ended up having, of course, the playmaker on the other side, which drew the attention. You're part of America's team. You leave for more money to go to Tampa Bay, and now you're the guy because they paid you all that money. You're now under the microscope, and now you have to be the guy. And some people don't want or can't handle that responsibility. They're better as a complementary player on a really good team. Their career gets prolonged. In essence, you actually have more money and you have more satisfaction. I know for myself, I'm a very hands-on guy, and this is where I can relate to Dan Quinn. I think Dan Quinn is a lot like me, where he likes to get dirty. I like to be in here covered with dust. I like being creative and taking something that doesn't exist and making it. That's what I do. I'm not the guy who likes to push paper, who likes to fill out paperwork. When I worked for Rife, when I worked for this company, I loved the actual work of working at the Smithsonian. Doing the projects, being behind the scenes, down and dirty. I loved that. I loved it. But that's not what they wanted me for. They took me from a job that I was comfortable with. They were paying me more money to be something different than what I wanted to be. I needed to work in the office. I had to wear, clean clothes. I had to direct other people. And it drove me crazy because all I wanted to do was I wanted to take off those, dress clothes and all that. And I wanted to get my hands dirty and get dusty doing the work. So now you have Michael Gallop. He's in that contract year. And you're looking as an NFL player that I've got, 3 to 10 year window to make money for the rest of my life. So you understand that this is it. I got to make the most. But in the same sense, you have to do what makes you happy. And sometimes taking a whole bunch of money going someplace doesn't necessarily make you happier. And sometimes can end up shortening your career. And hence, when I always say to people, sometimes the cheapest price isn't really the cheapest price. Hold your ears. Sometimes we buy stuff because the price seems to be right. But the problem is, it costs you more in the long run because it doesn't last. And that's the thing I try and get in people's minds. They'll look at a ceiling fan or a faucet and they think, oh, they're all built the same. That's not the case. It may look the same. It may sound the same, but it don't last the same. I like Michael Gallop a lot. I'd like to see him take a major step this year, this season, and I would love for the Cowboys to find a way to hold on to him. But the reality in football is, it doesn't always work that way. I gotta get some more wood. Can never have enough wood. All right, y'all. I will see you tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern. Don't be late. I think this is going to be cool. And I think what we're going to do with this, one, I don't know how I'm shipping it. But look at that. See, that, my friends, that is woodworking. That's a skill. That, look, no screws, no clamps, just the tension in the tight fitting joint. I can't stand particle board furniture. It may not be perfect, but I can guarantee you it's going to last a long, long time. I'm Mark Holmes. I'll see you later. Peace.